Hello and welcome back to the Golf Ireland pod. I am your host Stephen Murphy, delighted to be here with you to recap all the action from the last week or so in amateur golf in Ireland. Also, we have a great guest this week in Alex Maguire, which is absolutely amazing, and then we'll also give you a heads up on all the action coming up this week as well. Hope you're all doing well. I know the weather has just been awful, but hopefully now with August here we can get some better weather on the cards. But as always, we will start with last week's action, and no better place to start than Lahinch. The South of Ireland Championship took place last week or over the weekend, and Colm Campbell is your winner from Warrenpoint Golf Club. He defeated Peter O'Keefe 1-up in the final. Incredible win in just some of the most testing conditions. I went down myself on Sunday morning to watch at the semi-finals, and the weather was just absolutely abysmal. I don't know how people came out to watch it, and even more impressive was the quality of golf. I couldn't get over the distance control with irons, the chipping, the putting. Everything was just so impressive, and it just really highlighted the talent on display, especially in person as well. But yeah, I went home and had to have had to have a shower quickly, and hopefully didn't get pneumonia. I don't know how the players did 36 holes in that, but a testament to Lahinch. The golf course was immaculate. There was no real standing water. Really impressive, and just an overall a great club and a great venue for that. So congratulations to everyone involved at Lahinch Golf Club. But yeah, also a massive congratulations to Colm Campbell. He was 2 down, standing on the 16th tee, and just battled hard. A bogey was enough to secure the win on par 3 16th, and then pars in 17 and 18 coming down the stretch to secure the victory over Peter O'Keefe, who again the title eludes him for another while, but he was so impressive, especially in the semi-final where he beat Jack Hearn 1-up. Jack went up early and played some great golf, but Peter just kept just gnawing away at him, and eventually came out on top there with that 1-up win, which was just super impressive. But huge congratulations to Jack Hearn as well, getting the semi-finals. Colm had it a bit easier in his semi-final, beating Paul Coughlin 6-5. But it just showed you the quality of golf that Colm was playing. A lot of birdies on that card, which in those conditions was super impressive. But yeah, an amazing win for Colm Campbell. I know he puts us up there with all the titles that he has. He's always wanted this match play kind of win, and he's got it now in the end. So I hope he had a fantastic night Sunday night celebrating, and I hope everyone at Lahinch Golf Club had a great night celebrating too. So congratulations again to Colm Campbell there on his South of Ireland Championship win. We'll move on now to the European Young Masters, which was taking place in Slovakia. Olivia Costello added another medal to her already glowing collection with a bronze. She carried a final round of 2 under 71 for 5 under total, courtesy of 2 late birdies on 14 and 15, which was good enough to give her a bronze medal for having a better final round than Germany's Antonia Steiner. So congratulations there to Olivia. Ireland itself finished 10th overall in the team standings on 10 over. France won the whole thing out there by 4 shots and 18 under par, which is very impressive. Some great shooting there from France. Kate Dillon was also there. She carried a 1 over 74 to share 12th place. Meanwhile, in the boys section, John Doyle claimed 34th place with Finlay Eager in 47th. So congratulations there to all taking place in the European Young Masters. We'll now move our attention to the 2023 European Ladies Amateur Championship. This took place in Sweden, and there was a lot of Irish involved. It was won by Julia Lopez Ramirez on 8 under, which is a fantastic score. Beck Coulter was the best of the Irish on 1 over par. She finished there for a tied 8th. Kate Lanigan finished on 4 over for a tied 19th finish. Anya Donegan finished on 9 over, and Anna Foster missed the cut, unfortunately, as did Rebecca Gardner. Congratulations there to all involved. Again, an amazing competition there. So some great scores there from the Irish girls involved. So well done to all of them there, and may the great form continue. Also, the Leinster Over 18 Women's Amateur Open Championship took place as well at Bunclody Golf Club in County Wexford. Anna Dawson came out there as the winner, so congratulations to Anna. The Tramore golfer shot a round of 1 over, which put her tied at the top of the leaderboard alongside Mary Dowling and Emily Murray. But a fantastic eagle on the last gave her the title after she beat Dowling on a countback. Talk about an eagle when you needed it there. Absolutely amazing. The 20-year-old picked up her first women's senior title this week, And as well, Bunclody was, again, people were raving how good that was, provided the players with a great test, especially when the wind picked up in the afternoon. Anna Dawson actually said herself, she said, "I love playing this course. I haven't played it in a long time, and I've never played the full 18 here. I don't think I've played bits and pieces on the course. It's a really nice course. The greens are really nice, and the fairways are so pure." So a huge win there for Anna Dawson. And again, massive congratulations to her. Lucy Carter was the winner of the Leinster Over 18 Women's Amateur Open Championship Duggan Cup. She shot a score of 8 over, which put her 9 shots clear of Lahinch's Valerie Hassett. And Suzanne Logan came in third place, 1 shot further back on 18 over. So well done to Lucy. Finally, as well, we had the Irish Challenge, which was at Headford Golf Club in Kells. Brandon Robinson Thompson, in his first month of his professional career, sealed a maiden victory at Headford with a closing 4 under par 67 at the Irish Challenge. The Englishman entered the final day 2 shots off the lead, but carried 5 birdies and 1 bogey to climb to the top of the leaderboard on 12 under par and win by 2 ahead of his fellow countryman Will Enifer and American Jordan Gumberg, who shared second on 10 under par. It's been a great 2 weeks for Brandon. He made the cut last week at the 151st Open Championship at Royal Liverpool after coming through final qualifying, and was delighted to cap off a memorable month with a victory here in Ireland. He said, "I've had an amazing few weeks. It's special to win my first Challenge Tour event, and playing in the Open last week was insane." Definitely a good few weeks there for Brandon, so congratulations to him on that win at Headford Golf Club. I think that kind of sums up then all of the action from the last week, a very busy week. And now I'm delighted to have Alex Maguire on the show here to discuss his amazing year. So I'll throw over to that interview with Alex right now. I'm now delighted to be joined by Alex Maguire here on the Golf Ireland pod. Alex, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to join me. How are you?
All good, yeah. Thank you for having me. Like you mentioned there, it's lashing rain, so just staying inside for the next few hours.
I was going to say, when you're sitting looking at that weather, aren't we so glad that we live in Ireland with the
I'm
climate that we
delighted,
have?
yeah, delighted, absolutely delighted that it's just raining
Yeah,
non-stop every day.
I know, especially you go to college in Florida, but we'll get to that later on. So you tried to leave, at least in fairness to you. You were smart. You got out. You got out when you can. But no, it's great to have Alex here on the podcast. An absolutely fantastic year you're having so far, Alex. We'll start off with obviously defending your East of Ireland trophy. Like, it's obviously incredibly hard to win one of those things. Never mind go back to back. It must be such a proud moment for you.
Yeah, and for me anyway, the East is the one that was close to my heart. I was actually in Baltray this morning. Like, it's the one place that I grew up always wanted to win, and I said that last year and I won it. And then to go back to back anywhere is it's special. And I've never done it before. Never won back to back titles anywhere. And then to do it from the friends and family back home. Obviously I'm away in America, so my friends and family can't see me that much. So yeah, to perform in front of them, it just made it so much more special. And I was delighted being able to win East again.
And not just to win it, but win it in a 3-man playoff as well, which is crazy, against 2 incredible competitors. Going into the playoff, what is the mindset going into in a 2-man playoff? At least it's sort of a match play situation. With a 3-man playoff, is it something you ever prepare for, or is it just take it as it comes?
To be honest, the way the day actually worked out, it was such a really weird, like, it was a really weird day. I was 2 behind into the second round, into the third round, and then I think I had a 2-shot lead into the last round, and I didn't play great. And then Sam and Shane battled really, really hard, and they didn't let me go away. And every time I made a bogey, they made a birdie. So it was always sort of chopping and changing, and the lead was up and down for the last 5-6 holes. So it was like, in our group, we were all around the lead for the last like 5 holes. So it was sort of it was sort of like a playoff. Obviously, Raf came in from the group ahead of us to get into the playoff, but it was already sort of like a 3-way playoff in the last few holes. And then going into the match play, it didn't really feel much different because it was just, I'm playing against 2 guys that I haven't played against for the last, it almost felt like it was the same thing, just continued, and, swapping Shane out for Raf. I actually didn't know Raf made birdie on 17 when I was playing it, so I didn't really know how he was doing. But, you can never really count Raf out around Baltray. He's a dog around Baltray. He absolutely loves it. He's an absolutely amazing competitor. So I wasn't shocked to see him, birdie 17 and missed a chance on the last. So, when I got into the playoff, it was just honestly just focus on myself. I still had holes to play. I felt like if I played them in two under, I definitely would have. I wouldn't have lost because it's obviously a par five on there. You like to birdie that, and I felt like if I birdie one of the two par fours, and that would sort of get it done, or at least extend it on. Yeah, the way it worked out, I birdied the last on the ninth to get the job done.
Absolutely brilliant. You kind of mentioned as well, all these lads, and even there at Lahinshaw, I was down there. They're all the lads are very friendly to each other beforehand. I don't know. Is it tough to then switch into killer instinct mode? Does it really matter that you guys are all friendly once you're actually playing on the course, or how do you approach that?
Yeah, like it's never nice to to win and see guys who you'd be very friendly with being upset after. Um, but I think we all know that like somebody has to win at the end of the day, and like I guarantee if you gave the chance to Raf to say that he would win and you'd see me being upset after, you'd take it. But just because that's the sport we're in, like you could be friendly with people after, but in tournament competition and in the heat of the moment, we're all sort of. Well, personally, I don't think anyone goes out trying to beat people. I just want to win, like, and obviously that sort of means that people have to be upset, and I've been on the wrong end of it many times, and I've been upset not winning. So yeah, it's a little bit tough. It's probably easier playing against a guy you've no idea who they are, and you don't really have much sympathy. But when you're a guy that you've been friends or friendly with for the last few years, it's sort of yeah, it's bittersweet because you're thrilled to win, but I know Raf and Sam very very well for the last few years, and I've played boys golf with Sam, and I think his time will come, and Raf's been around for the last 10 years, and I guarantee he'll get a few more championships before his time's up.
Yeah, I've only met Keelan just on the podcast here, but he comes across as the most likable fella you'd ever come across. He just is so easygoing, and it's really really refreshing. I think that episode went down very well. But yeah, look, obviously it's still early. It's still a long way away, but back to back is good. But back to back sounds even better. Alex, is that? I'm assuming that's the goal.
Yeah, obviously, I hopefully the schedule allows it to play next year. It was great to us this year where they changed the St Andrews Link Trophy to the week after, so we could play. If we wanted, we could play the East or Scottish Am. I think it was the other one that tied with the East. So yeah, if the schedule allows it next year, I'll definitely be teeing up in Baltray.
Well, speaking of St Andrews Links, obviously you went and won that too, just to keep your hot streak going. Obviously, winning a competition is one thing, but doing it at the home of golf in St Andrews as well had to be extra special.
Yeah, it was. Like I said there, the East meant the East probably still means more to me just because I grew up trying to win it, but they were probably two dream wins back to back. Like if there's anywhere you'd like to win, it's the home of golf. And to even like I haven't played St Andrews before this year, and um, I went to the Open last year, so I'd seen the course and I sort of knew a little bit about it, but I hadn't played it, and then to go out and play the way I did, and perform the way I did, and had my dad caddy up for me at the last hole, and my mom was walking with us. It was so special to like they made the trip over to see me win there. It was quite surreal. We're walking up the last hole, like I said, and my dad was pushing the bag, nearly fell over the Swilcan Bridge. It's actually quite slippery, the Swilcan Bridge. He nearly fell over it, and then walking up the last hole, taking in the surroundings, and there was tourists up around the 18 that didn't really have a clue what was going on, but they were just enjoying the town, and to take it all in was mad, to be honest, but something that I'll be very very proud of.
Does seem a special place, I have to say. I haven't been, but I'd love to know how slippery the Swilcan Bridge is. Hopefully someday I'll slip on it. I've heard several pros. I think even maybe Rory McIlroy said at one stage the first time he played St Andrews, he didn't really get it. He didn't really understand why it was such a magical place. And then after a couple of rounds, it sort of clicked. That doesn't seem to be the case with you, Alex. You kind of it clicked straight away just how special that place is.
Yeah, I think going to the Open last year really helped because I'd seen it with the grandstands up, and I'd seen how brutal it can be to you sometimes. It's a fairly generous course. Like you see with the scores, like every time there's always double digit under par there. It can be quite generous, but I think watching the Open and seeing like the heartbreak of Rory and the run that Cameron Smith made in the last 8 holes, like it's a really really good course. And then when I played it, like it's not a visually, stunning golf course. Like I would say Portrush is just visually stunning on every single hole. But I think when you play it, and we were lucky enough to play it this year 3 times in the tournament. I think it's very rare that they actually have three rounds on the old course during that tournament. So when we played 3 times, every single round it just got better and better. I think the more, like Rory obviously said, the more and more you play it, the more you sort of fall in love with it. I think you learn new things about it. You learn how to play different holes better. You might play a different hole. Like you might play 12 with driver, and then realize that maybe that is the play, regardless of how many times you hit it in the bush, just because of how it gives you a chance to make eagle. Um, and then I just think the last few holes coming down the road and then up into the town is no it like that's why I think I was so comfortable playing, because I was just so happy to be there that like I was just trying to play and make as many birdies as I could, and I sort of forgot about the tournament and where my position in the tournament a lot. I just, I was so happy to be there that I played pretty good golf.
We've had guests on before who said that they've struggled in big tournaments like that, or special occasions where they've struggled to take the moment in while actually being there. But you seem to be able to take the moment in, and it almost helped your game. You almost nearly forgot about the tournament, which is incredible. Is that fair?
Yeah, I didn't like. I was playing with Rob Moore, and so it was quite a comfortable group. We were having, a good laugh around. We played the last two rounds at 36 on the Sunday, I think it was. So it was quite comfortable, and I didn't check the leaderboard once. I think that probably helped because I was a good few under par. I think I was 7 under through 11. So I sort of was like, okay, I don't think anybody's beating me at the moment. I don't really need to see how much I'm ahead, because it's not going to change the game plan going forward. So I didn't look at the leaderboard. I was just like, right, let's just get it to 8, birdie 14, and maybe see if I can get one or two more. But yeah, like I think it's very hard to take in the moment when you're in the moment, because it happens so fast. Like it happens in walking pace. You're walking to the ball, and then all of a sudden it's over, and then like you try to stand there for a few minutes and try to enjoy it. But um, even when I was on the last screen, I didn't know if I was going to win by a lot or if I was tight, because the guy's score, Albert Hansen's score, didn't update, so I couldn't properly celebrate with my parents. They were all crying and delighted for me, but I didn't know. I didn't fall into the idea that I was going to win yet. And then once the score updated 370, and I knew he couldn't catch me.
You didn't know if there were tears of joy or tears of heartbreak. You weren't
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah, I knew it was looking good, but I'd rather wait a few minutes to then celebrate than celebrate and then realize, all right, you're going to a playoff now, because that would be quite embarrassing.
That'd be tough to live that one down. Yeah, that's for sure. Your great play was rewarded then by being qualifying for the Open at the Hoylake, the Royal Liverpool Golf Club. First of all, when you found out that was happening, just talk us through the emotions.
Yeah, it was a weird one, because obviously I didn't play European Am, and it was very much out of my hands. Like I had a comfortable lead getting into the European Am, but if I was playing European Am, all I had to do was probably make the cut, and I think I would have, based on how the points work, I would have just won. But obviously, when you're not playing it, the lead becomes a lot shorter, and I think 7 points can be quite, like, if one of those guys behind me just had made the cut and come like top 40, they would have beaten me. So yeah, I was keeping an eye on the scores at European Am for the whole week, and then obviously on the last day, I was with the pen and paper out, and calculations were being done to see how, like, if I could do it, how long or how close it would be towards the end. And there was a few guys who could catch me, but in the end, yeah, I came out on top. And then getting that call, because I had gotten a text off the RNA maybe 2 hours beforehand saying that I'll be called either way, whether it'll be good or bad, because of how close it was, and because I wasn't at European Am, so they'd planned for me to be there, or the winner to be there. So it's like I'm getting a call either way. So I, like, when the call came through, and Ewan, who actually rang me, sounded quite monotone. I thought he was going to say, look, sorry, the calculations came in and you haven't won. But then obviously when he said he was delighted to offer me the space, it was just more of a sigh of relief that, look, I didn't make the decision to not play European Am knowing that I could get in the Open. Yeah, I was sort of like quite upset that I didn't play it, but the relief that came through me when I still got the Open, even though I didn't play it, was great. And then I was in the backyard with my family and friends, and it was a nice time with them.
Great, fantastic. Sounds fantastic. Talk to us through then. You've mentioned before how you were very good at St Andrews at staying in the moment and drinking it all in. Was that possible at Hoylake, or was the moment pretty large?
I know, well, because if we had a few days, and I like St Andrews, it was the last round that I was trying to take them about the last few holes. I was trying to take the moment in, whereas the Open you can take it in from the very first day with the crowds, and I was trying to do as much things as I could because, like, at the end of the day, I don't know if it's going to be my last Open ever. I hope it's not, but who knows? So I said I'd try enjoy it as much as I could, but then once Wednesday comes around, that's when I focus on playing golf because I wanted to play as well as I could and try compete and get the silver medal. That was sort of my goal going into it. And it's very hard to do both because you could walk around with your head on a swivel and you could be seeing all these things and you could be pulled over here, pulled over there, and you just stretch yourself way too thin that you actually can't really compete and you get tired after a few holes. So I try to zone in on the Wednesday and then I had a really good pairing with the two Irish guys and Stuart Sink on that Wednesday. So that sort of helped, focus in, and we had a money match going. So it was easy to, not get too distracted by the crowds.
I hope they weren't doing their high roller stuff, were they? Those
No,
pros.
no. They kept that a little bit low. It was still a bit high, but they didn't go. They didn't
It's all
go
relative, isn't it? It's all
yeah, yeah.
relative.
For them, it's low, but for me, it wasn't very low.
Back pocket
Um,
change, yeah, for those guys.
yeah. For them, it's nothing to them. But then obviously once the week came in, and I felt very comfortable on the course. I didn't really feel too out of place once I was on the course. It can be quite daunting playing the Open, but at the end of the day, I was just playing around the golf, and golf is what got me there. Golf is what I do best, so I just tried to back myself, and I played great. I played great for probably 3/4 of the tournament, and then just a few holes and a few mental mistakes sort of caught up to me. But yeah, it was a very positive week, I think.
Yeah, obviously the results didn't go your way. You missed the cut, unfortunately, but that was the biggest stage you've ever played on, and you could play to a great level. That has to you have to take a lot of confidence from that surely into next couple of events. That no matter how big the stage is, you know that you can play to a good standard.
Yeah, and I think if you look at when you're the one missing cut, if you can feel quite lonely when you're you're very upset at yourself, but then you've sort of got to take a step back and look at the leaderboard and see how many guys that I've looked up to missing the cut and not playing their best. So you sort of put pressure on yourself to do it on for me it's the 1 week of the year, it's the only chance I get to play a major, where some guys out there will play majors as much as they can, and they're on tour and this is their sort of everyday life, and they're still missing the cut. So it's it doesn't really soften the blow because I still want to play well, but you look around and you see the likes of Justin Thomas and Dustin Johnson, they're all missing the cut, and so it's not like I'm the only one who misses out and everyone else makes the cut. It's sort of it's a hard game, and sometimes as well as you play, sometimes puts don't drop, and then you make a few mental mistakes and a few decision errors, and all of a sudden you're outside the cut line.
Absolutely, I know, yeah, but still a fantastic experience. An upcoming fantastic experience. Alex will be representing Europe at the Banalek. We're not quite sure how the pronunciation is, but we're going with Banalek maybe Trophy, which is against the Asia Pacific team at La Manga Resort in Spain from the 3rd to the 5th of August. How excited are you, even purely just for some good Spanish weather?
To be honest, I'd love to get on that plane tomorrow.
Yeah.
I heard it's really, really hot though, so maybe it's going to be torture over there. I don't know, but it's going to be, there's not going to be any rain for the next week. So, yeah, I can't wait to get over there. What an honor it is to be able to represent not alone your country but your continent. It's very rare that people get that opportunity, and I know this comes up every 2 years. And the last time it was played, I think, was 2018. I think Robin Dawson was on that team, so he was the last Irish guy to be on it. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect yet because obviously I had not, I don't you don't grow up thinking about that, especially as soon as I got into the men's game, it wasn't on for a few years because of COVID and all that sort of stuff, so I didn't know too much about it. But then the more I read up on it, the more I know how rich the history is and the guys who played it. I know Rory's played it. Shane's played it, and Fox has played it a few times. So many Irish guys have played it, and to add my name to that list is something I'm very, very proud of.
Yeah, it's a good point about the history of those tournaments, because it's only when you really, as you say, look through it, you see the incredible history that these tournaments have. I believe it's a Ryder Cup format. Is that also just kind of like, the child in you also excited to play the Ryder Cup format?
I think I would rather pick the actual Ryder Cup.
Well, obviously, yeah. In a couple of years, Alex, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Even a few years, but no, the format's class. I think, the EGA and the Asia Pacific team, like they come together and like they make to try and make it as special as they can for the players, and to introduce Ryder Cup format, and then have all the 12 singles on that Saturday. It's going to be class, and to be able to sort of recreate the Ryder Cup in our own sort of aspect is going to be really, really fun. So yeah, I cannot wait to get playing. Like,
will you be asking to go out first on the singles?
If they want me to go there, yeah, I'll go wherever the captain wants me to go. Whether it's first or last or in the middle, the fact that I'm even playing is, it's good enough for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You also play college golf in America for Florida Atlantic University. I was reading up on a couple of your stats, and you didn't take long getting running on the ground. Let's just say, Alex, was it your freshman year? Is that the correct term? The freshman, yeah. I was looking through your list of sort of stats, and they're all very, very impressive. So it didn't take you long to hit the ground running over in the States.
Yeah, surprisingly, because it was more of a culture shock once I went over there, and then I was, nervous and how like I didn't realize there was no cut in the events until the very first event. I was asked the team, I was like, "Oh, what's usually the cut in these things?" And they were like, "No, there's no cuts in college events," which is the way it goes. And I played very well my freshman year. I think our team, we had a few good freshmen. Me, English guy Enrique, and a Swiss guy Max. I think we had like the best freshman team in the country. So we all came in and we all played great, and we got the team ranking up quite high. And then I've had a few stop starts. Like I haven't played great the last spring, and the spring before that I got my first win. So I don't really know how to evaluate my play. I've played okay. I haven't played definitely as well as I've played at home. So yeah, but I think I definitely wouldn't have been able to play as well as I have done at home if it wasn't for going over to the States. I think it's turned me into like a man. Like you man up, and you learn to grow up, and you take care of yourself when you're over there. And it was a massive learning experience, just to how to take care of yourself and time management and all these things, that like responsibilities that I didn't have when I was 17, 18. Like mom and dad taking me around is like in the car, bringing me places, and then all of a sudden you're over in America, and then you don't really know what to do. But once you're there for a while, and you develop good relationships, and people take care of each other, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, when I was able to play well there, you relax, and you actually enjoy the experience. And I think the more and more I've been over there, the more I've enjoyed it. The first year I just missed home, and missed my girlfriend at home, and missing all these people that like I used to see every day, and then all of a sudden you don't see them for 4 months. But the more you stay over there, I think the more you're able to keep relationships at home, but while enjoying the the amazing experience over there.
Yeah, I meant to mention this earlier on. Your family. You seem to have a great support structure with your family. I've seen obviously pictures from your Instagram of the Open, and they're all there supporting you. It seems to be a huge part of your life, and a huge help for your golf game.
Yeah, I most definitely would not be doing anything if it wasn't for my family. Put money into it, and then like do whatever you want. But they've supported me so much. They've come to as many events as they can. My dad would drive me around, and since we were in the under 14s, like he would drive me to every single event, take time off work, stay up in a hotel for 1 or 2 days, whatever it might be. And then he doesn't want to miss any event. I think he's going to try to come to every single event for the next few months, because he loves it so much. And then obviously the rest of my family, my mom, she works in a pharmacy in Bettystown. She's taken luckily the pharmacist in Bettystown is a golfer, so he understands that, maybe if she is to go to the Open, he's gonna roster her off work and give her the opportunity. And my sister and everybody and my girlfriend, like, they've supported me probably to an extent I actually haven't realized yet. I think I've just been so used to having all the support that sometimes I take it for granted, and you sort of, you're looking over and you see your dad over there, and I remember one time when we were in Cairn for the Connacht under 18s, and it was hailing sideways, and it was maybe -4 degrees, and I didn't want to be there, and my dad most definitely didn't want to be there, but he was still out with the umbrella, supporting me and making sure that I didn't feel alone. So yeah, like I don't even know how to describe what they've meant to me over the last few years. And yeah, like, it's nice to be able to lift trophies and give my dad the trophy. That's the first thing I do when I get the trophy. I give it to him so he can experience it, and then he got a few points out of it after.
Yeah, look, golf's a selfish game, but it's still a reminder that it's a massive group effort as well when it comes to results and hard work. So, yeah, lovely story there. So, look, Alex, we've kept you long enough. Thank you very much again for giving up your time. We appreciate that here on the Golf Ireland pod, and best of luck in the upcoming Banalak Trophy and for the rest of your golf as well this summer and back in college as well. So, cheers, Alex.
Cheers, Stephen. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Alex for joining me here on the Golf Ireland pod. It was really fun to chat to him. Yeah, let's look ahead now to the upcoming tournaments. We've plenty on over the next week or two. We'll start obviously as the aforementioned Bonalac Trophy and the Patsy Hankins Trophy, which Alex obviously is on the Bonalac Trophy team, and Beck Coulter is on the Patsy Hankins Trophy team. So congratulations to both of those players for being selected. That is taking place at La Manga Resort in Spain from the 3rd to the 5th of August. So keep an eye out on social media to keep up to date with the scores there. And again, best of luck to Alex and Beth. We also have on the 2nd to 4th of August the Irish Under 14 and Irish Under 16 Boys Amateur Open Championship, which is taking place at Lisburn Golf Club. A reminder again, the 2nd to the 4th of August for that. Also, the Mullingar Scratch Trophy is taking place on the 6th to the 7th of August. And the Ulster Over 18 Women's Amateur Open Championship, which is taking place on the 6th of August at Warren Point, now home of the South of Ireland champion Colin Campbell. We also then have some big news. Men's and women's home international teams have been announced, which is taking place on the 9th to the 11th of August in Wales. The men's team is as follows: Mark Boucher, Colin Campbell, Paul Conroy, Max Kennedy, Alex Maguire, Robert Moore, Liam Nolan, Keelan Rafferty and David Shield. Congratulations to all of those men who've been selected. Team captain is Neil McSweeney from Athenry, and the team coach is John McKinstry, and team coach there is Michael Collins. So congratulations to all of those men who've been selected. On the women's team, we have as follows: Sarah Byrne, Beth Coulter, Emma Fleming, Anna Foster, Kate Lanigan, Mairead Martin and Jessica Ross. Congratulations to all of those women for being selected. They are captained by Niamh Quigg, team manager is Helen Jones, and team coach is Donald Scott. Again, congratulations to everyone there for being selected. The boys and the girls team have also been selected. They are travelling to Lindrick in England for the home internationals between the 8th and 10th of August. The boys team is as follows: Donica Cleary, Fionn Dobbin, John Doyle, Mark Gazzi, Darcy Hogg, Sean Keeling, Jack Murphy, Gavin Tiernan and James Walsh, and they are captained by Peter English and coached by Stephen Hood. And then finally the girls team, which is Anna Abom, Olivia Costello, Kate Dillon, Marina Joyce Moreno, Quiva O'Grady, Ellen O'Shaughnessy and Katie Poots, and they are captained by Brenda Craig and coached by Chris Jelly. So they are all the teams representing Ireland over the next week. Best of luck to all taking part. Representing your country is always a fantastic achievement, and best of luck to all the coaching staff as well. And finally then, of course, the US Women's Amateur is taking place on the 7th to the 13th of August in Bel Air Country Club in California. Anya Donegan, our very own, is playing, so we're wishing her the best of luck in that upcoming amateur. She's had a fantastic year so far, so we're looking to push on as well and have a good year there too. So wishing Anya the best of luck from everyone here at Golf Ireland. And again, you can keep up to date with all of these scores and storylines on the Golf Ireland social media pages. and online as well. So thank you very much. I think that wraps up all the action. Thanks again to Alex Maguire for coming on. And thank you for listening. I appreciate it, and we will catch you next week.